Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Dumbass class with me, the Dyslexic Gamer, and my players as always. Hopefully you can hear me and everything is working. I'm still waiting for my little thingamajigger to work. I don't know, what are these pop-ups? Well, whatever they are.
Oh, yeah.
I know as soon as mine starts working, I go mute. Try. I'm trying. There we go. It's here, and I got it before it muted me. So excellent. So first things first. Something I did forget in the past 2 episodes, because we had one episode that wasn't streamed. That was just a loot grabbing episode, and then we had another episode which was streamed. I've forgotten both of those 2. So unless I have already told you this, and there is evidence of it, at least there might be. If I hadn't already given it to you, you all get +1 fortune points up to a maximum of 4. So Jim,
it's the first time you're telling me.
You should have 2 fortune points now instead of 1. Is this correct?
Oh, hold on. Could you repeat that? Because I just heard 2. Why do I have 2 fate points now?
Good. I haven't already. Okay.
You did not tell us that.
Excellent. So
This is new information for me.
You did pass a big milestone, so there should be +1 fortune points for it. It's just with the XP and the loot and carrying the game on, I genuinely forgot to mention it.
Is anyone else's sheet really weird?
Oh no.
I mean, always, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Never mind. I fixed it. For some reason, Opera decided to go, hey, you like dark mode, right? Let's force dark mode for you. And it fucked with the sheet.
Yeah, I now have 2 fate points. Unless you want to give me another one, I'd be happy.
No. You need to wait another 3 years for that.
One.
How much XP are we at again?
Where are my fate points again? What the fuck?
I mean, I don't want to be annoying this, but it's 4 years.
Yeah, well, there you go. In another 4 years, Jim, you can get another fortune point.
Our first session was the 20th of August 2020. Our second session was the 3rd of September 2020. Oh, incidentally, same date as now. At least one Sunday.
Yeah. So,
and right now we're at session 97.
For anyone for this auspicious occasion, for anyone in chat or watching on YouTube in the whenever the hell you get around to watching it, do comment if you've been around from the beginning. I'm going to be shocked to all belief, but there's enough views per video that someone could have been here from the beginning. It's a long shot, but make yourself known.
I've been playing with this since 2017, so like.
I'm fucking old, Jim. I'm so fucking old.
I know you're old, buddy. I know.
The thing is, it doesn't feel that long ago. It really doesn't feel that long ago. It's
because we had
really
the pandemic in between, so.
So, but wasn't it just a few years ago that Michael was my first GM and we went through that game? No, it wasn't. It was a fucking almost a decade.
I didn't play with Michael.
No, that was the very first. But anyway,
that was before, yeah.
Yeah, you joined the very next game that we played.
Yeah, with Jay.
Yeah, the good series when it went downhill. So anyway, in the last episode, our party had in the last episode, the party had gathered up the loot. They had collected their wounded, done basic first aid, and had acquired a new vehicle. They brought this shambles of a shuttle to Izmir, the Izmirians were in shock and disbelief and awe at this thing, and when they realised that it was their leader, their higher ranking officials coming out of the great beast, they named it the Sky Chicken. There has been much celebration, euphoria, and drinking and fornicating as usual. Cray did disappear to go and collect the car and the gunboat, bringing it back to Izmir. Timmy has regaled the Izmirians in their own blasphemous tongue.
I think I was also going to recycle the prisoners.
Yes, that's what you were doing with the prisoners. I was like, they've done something with them. I can't fucking remember. Yeah, you were harvesting their organs. Okay. But you went off. They'll probably have a day, an evening to survive, because you had to go off and get the vehicle and then come back for the celebration. So they probably are in the cell down south. So over here. Although that's not on stream, but yeah, they're in the box. Timmy is regaling the people with the story of their heroism. The Shield Sisters have brought the Battle Sister into the barn, I believe it was, or into an area that they can fortify and secure against the inbreds, whilst they see to her injuries. As you all kind of bask in the moment, Cray, you would be asked, because there is a new NPC that is a couple of new NPCs. A tech priest was found. I had this all planned out before, and now I'm like, What's the most basic tech priest? It's the one that Labot is, not Labot.
The most basic tech priest
Is the engine seer. Engine seer. No, the engine seer. So
you're talking proper priest, not the initialists.
Yeah. So the tech priest that you acquired is an engine seer. So they've got a couple of cybernetics, but nothing immense. Cray, it turns out it does kind of work. It is actually a she. She asks you, or I believe the token is a she, I might be wrong. She asks you if you can assist her in repairing some of the damage that's been done to the cybernetics, because she was tortured. This is basic maintenance for you, Cray. You don't have to roll anything for it. You just basically, you
want us to roll 3 successes?
No, for something like this, because if a Magos had tortured a tech priest, they would know to, take apart the cybernetics, to electrocute them here, and here. These were pirates torturing a tech priest with electricity. So it's not been a proper interrogation. So she just needs assistance on areas that she can't reach with her cybernetics. This, like I said, this would be basic maintenance and minor combat repair for you, so you don't need to roll. So yeah, you two essentially are going off to an area where your hallowed cybernetics are not visible to all. Again, it's only going to take you about an hour or so you will be back with the party. The Space Marine has entered, looked around. Like, if his armor was anime style, there'd be shock and disbelief at the distasteful strain of human being he has to be around. But
I did pre-warn him.
He is quite badly injured, so he kind of accepts it. It's like, well, if the rogue trader says this is where we're meant to be, I suppose I'll just stay here and heal for a moment. The Izmirians are in absolute, like, if they were impressed at the sky chicken coming down from the sky, the 9 foot plus armored
I know it's
behemoth.
3 meters. It's 3 meters, so 10 foot.
10 foot. So yeah,
No, 9 to 10.
well, so for they've got the Archaeotech Servitor, which is to say roughly the same size as a Space Marine, and then they've got the Space Marine where every legion is slightly different. Although, Dark Angels are not the tallest, they're not the shortest, so still a giant of a man in power armor. Like they're this is quite a good point. No, you have taught them about the God Emperor, and you're just like messengers and servants of the God Emperor. But there's a lot of like what you would almost call worship of the events that have happened recently in their Heinrich, you've definitely seen old preachers have citizens of the Imperium act in a similar manner, where they're like on their hands and knees, some of them, and like, oh, praise Heinrich. Definitely matters a little bit of that. You may need to enjoy this moment and fan the flames of the cult of Heinrich.
Maybe. It's easy enough done, I think. These fucking... Oh, Lord. Ah!
That was the Lord telling you.
I was, I kind of... Fucking on my head. Sorry, I just kind of brain farted there for a second, and my mind just went, hey! Just...
I forgot one engine seal was called, my dude. It is perfectly fine. It happens.
The flatline noise just occurred in my head there for a split second. I was like, what the fuck just...
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of worship over the new leader who has come and brought the Izmirians into a golden age. An age of where there's a lot of fear going on, but you've given no reason. You don't go around beating them.
If I have a moment of time, would I know that the Imperium isn't fond of people being worshipped?
You know that instinctually. The only person who would need to roll that here would be Cooney. Cooney might not know like this kind of thing isn't particularly, but you would see see if they're not intelligent enough or they're not skilled enough to have like crafted dolls that resemble Heinrich or anything like that. But they are a very primitive society, Cray, and you do know that like feudal worlds, the lords are kind of seen as angelic. They are kind of put above the chaff, the flock. They're not worshipped. The God Emperor is worshipped, but they might be the voice of the Emperor. They decree the commands of the Emperor to the... So this isn't heretical. Because like I said, you are around for this evening to see this kind of... It's not heretical worship, but it maybe something to keep an eye on and to keep in check. Promote your good deeds towards someone.
At this point, I'm kind of seeing myself as like...
I would just start... Then again, these savages are not worth on the style slide.
Yeah. It's more a case of like, oh yeah, I'm happy I'm getting the respect I deserve being a noble, but at some point it will be going like, okay, yeah, let's tone it down a bit, but at the meantime, yes, praise me.
At the
my head and
moment,
call me a good boy.
At the moment, it's just something to keep an eye on. If you're on your ship, Heinrich, you'd obviously have adjutants, you'd have ministers, priests, and other people who are doing this kind of thing for you. And again, Cray would definitely notice that this is getting a little bit... it's still within acceptable parameters for Cray's mind to take in, but it's does need to be checked on. You would normally, you'd normally have a priest going through the ranks and ensuring that they all know who made this happen. It wasn't Heinrich, it was the Emperor. The Emperor works through Heinrich, and that's why we must praise him and look after him and be subservient to him. But it's still Big E that you just don't have a preacher character who's doing that. So you've noticed it. If in like 2 years' time I notice that no one's done anything about this, then well, maybe a bit of hereticalness comes in.
I mean, in 2 years' time.
No. They're just praising me as if I was a living saint. It's fine. Are you a living saint? No, but they're stupid and gullible.
I mean, in 2 years, I hope to have recycled them all. Sisters.
You kind of hope like the breeding program is kicked into gear and they're no longer just this.
Well, it depends on how long we spend on planet and how long we spend in the warp. Because let's face it, the warp we can move on the game by years if we wish. Oh, you went into the warp, a year has passed. How? The warp.
I mean, if it's only a year, it's a success.
I mean, it is, and you guys haven't aged by a year, but it just means that on the planet we can move on. It's like, oh, you come back, it's the Victorian period. There are gentlemen and ladies about, rather than be like, oh, fuck me.
I think it's going to take a very long time for these threads, get even close to that.
You'd actually be shockingly surprised how quickly the human genome can sort itself out as long as new stock gets introduced.
I mean, then again, you do have to remember some of the royals we had back in the day.
But that
we're
again,
not looking for like Habsburg, all right?
Yeah, but that's through design. They wanted to keep the blood in the family. We're talking about if you bring new blood in, the Shield sisters, for example, torture them for a couple of years. The offspring will then be as normal as possible. It's only certain genes that kind of stick around and cause problems for a long, long time. But yeah, you'd be shocked how quickly you can stabilize the human genome with new stock.
I mean, we did recover from
Jim. This man has never played Breeders of Nephilim. He does not know.
He has not. He doesn't know.
No, I haven't. I haven't actually.
Poor boy. He doesn't know.
But yeah, at the moment, you just notice that they're a little enthusiastic about praising their new ruler. Was there anything else that really happens? Unless you guys want something to happen, the celebrations will.
Let me check my to-do list.
Get the car, organ harvest.
So you can take the guys to be organ harvested tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem.
We need to broker a deal for more fuel.
So the Sister of Battle Armors are fixed, right?
No. You will need to do some work on repairing the both power armors. So, but again, that will happen tomorrow. Unless you want to talk to someone, the evening ends.
No, I meant in the. Yeah, sorry. Never mind.
The only reason is, it's because you guys haven't slept yet. Like you have done 2 big combats, a load of looting, a load of fixing of people. It's been a long day, so I have to cut off what you can do in this period. Unless you want to talk to anyone in particular about anything, then you guys will, you'll go off to bed and sleep.
At this point, I'm more than happy to just kind of let them. We're back. We have the car back. We have the ship. We have this Space Marine. We're all back in one piece. We got most of our meat shields and stuff back. We got our gear back. We have stuff. We have loot. We have time to rest and recuperate. Let's just have our characters chill out, get them healed up, get them rested, and carry on the next couple of days organizing before we go off and do our next big endeavor.
Okay, not a problem. So
How's that sound?
You guys go to sleep for the day. This brings the 156th day to an end. It has been on this day for quite some time, which is why I'm like, no more stuff could be done. You can, however, just go talk to people, go to sleep, and there you're options.
Is this what an episode of 24 Hours feels like?
It bloody well feels like it. Oh god, that's completely wrong. You have travelled some serious distance. I mean, thanks to the ship as well.
Yeah. However, oh god.
Oh, that is not how you spell repair, but you know what? I'm just going to keep that. Oh my god, delete handout and save handout are really close together. Jesus Christ. Oh, no. Did they change that? Hang on. I've got to have another look at this. I did. So I scrolled all the way down. Yeah, that delete and save, they're a bit too
very close together, aren't
yeah, I don't like that. Yeah. I hope when you click delete, it asks you, are you sure you want to? But yeah, the day 156 ends. Perhaps you all wake up a little bit later on the next day. As you do wake up, you can see that Ismeria is doing well. Anus seems to have woken up early and is actually directing people to get to work and to hit targets and objectives and to build shit and do stuff. Whereas before there was a distinct lack of, I'll do it when I'm ready. There definitely seems to be more motivation and coordination in the day-to-day running of Izmir. All of those who are injured are in the medical tent, hut, house thing.
The proper side of the medical tent that actually has, clean stuff, right? Not just the fucking massive sick bay.
Well, it's been a while since any of you have been in there, but perhaps some of you take a wander and a gander. All the people who were in there are now gone.
Of course.
You haven't seen any of them in quite a while. A lot of them were very old as well. Well, old for Izmirians. They're dead. They're dead. All the people that you've personally had a hand in putting in there because you chose them for combat or for other means or purposes, they've either recovered or are currently in there. The whole area is, for primitive standards, clean. They have taken on a lot of the things that perhaps Cray and possibly Cooney have taught them about hygiene. Possibly, some of them, maybe. The risk of death has dropped substantially from when they were just kind of leaving their sick, injured, and dying in a dark tent with booze. But it's still not perfect. Some of them will get an infection and die. It's how it is. It's not a proper medical station by any means.
So long as they weren't given a name, it's fine.
Yeah, it's mainly. Well, so it's any NPC.
They will literally pop another one out eventually.
Yeah, kind of. It's any NPC that's in there, and they also age quicker during youth because of that genetic marker. Yeah. So they're the ones. like the chances of Anus dying or Timmy, it is unlikely, but it's always as a possibility. The Sister of Battle is looking a lot worse today, but that's more of that she's been treated and her body is recovering. Why she's in a proper state today. Would he be around? I mean, see, this is the problem. So the Space Marine hasn't moved. He took up a position at night. He basically hasn't moved. He just kind of stayed there. I imagine he powered down his armor and just stood there for 8 to 9 hours, you know.
The utility / pump room has like an induction port for him, right? So he could have like sat down on the induction and down there and like charged the armor while you sat ramrod fucking straight all night.
He doesn't know exactly that he can get power from this position. He's not entirely sure about taking off his armor in this kind of area or position. But as you, Heinrich, and the others begin to stir and make your presences known, perhaps you go and get breakfast. At some point, whilst you're enjoying your breakfast, he would appear. Now, I do apologise, I cannot do a Space Marine voice. I don't use voice modulators anymore, and I haven't got a cup with me that can do a deep enough echo. So, he would approach you, Heinrich, and rogue trader. I do not approve of remaining here. You surround yourself with an inferior strain of humanity. It is sickening. Is there nowhere else I can wait for when you actually need me?
I did bring this up with you on our return. We are heading there now, actually, with our prisoners, if you would like to accompany us.
If it possible, could you make that expedient? I would rather leave this place now. He will go and then wait by the entrance.
I'll just motion like towards the gate. Like, of course, my lord. Just if you were to wait by the gate, I'm gathering the final pieces of my things, as well as ensuring the bindings on the prisoners.
He gives you a acceptably Space Marine nod. He acknowledges what you've said.
He still goes off in a huff, though.
No, he's not in a huff. He's not in a huff, but he is definitely. He doesn't like. They are humans. They are humans, but they are a poor strain of humans, and it does disgust him.
Yeah.
While I'm doing the prisoners, while this exchange is going on.
You're doing the prisoners?
This?
What?
I'm chaining them up to the cars.
Not that doing. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Understandable. No, fair enough. I will. I'll be like after a little bit of conversation. I'll make my way over and make sure like I'm actually helping at that point, because like Jesus Christ. Okay.
I would say to Emily, instead of bringing him to the Dark Age facility, wouldn't it be better to bring him to the priests?
Okay, hang on, real quick. It's kind of known that the dark that like fucking Space Marines don't want to be called the angels. Like they're mentioned as the angels of death and stuff, but like it's kind of known that they're not exactly.
Can I
the most
get
religious.
a roll? Can I get a roll to determine how much you know? This would pretty much be imperial. Almost any law I would accept on this matter. There would be a few I wouldn't. Xenos being one, but Mechanicum,
forbidden lore.
I would accept. To be honest, Common or Scholastic, perfectly fine. Scholastic will just tell you more. I don't know.
The only one I have is Imperium, so maybe Rogue. I have Imperium, Rogue Trader, and Imperial Creed, which would work best.
All three of them are acceptable, to be completely honest with you, but Rogue Trader would give you more heretical knowledge because it's stuff that's been traded within the Rogue Trader dynasty. It's not everyone's use.
Rogue Trader tier common knowledge.
Yes.
Mechanicus tier common knowledge and stuff.
Yes.
So what? Flat -10.
You can do 10. It. You can do it flat. I'm really just seeing how the dice will roll on this. Okay, so 2 degrees of success. Well, actually, shouldn't it be 3? Shouldn't it be 3?
No, it's just 2.
Because it's 30, 40, 50 plus 1. That's 3 degrees.
Okay, yeah.
Because you get 1. You get 1 for passing.
1 for success, and then it's 2. Yeah. The way they count shit is weird because it still takes note of the secondary digit.
Yeah, it's odd,
kind of funny.
which is why I said when I noticed it, or when it was brought to my attention, we do need to just double check. So yeah, with 3 degrees of success,
Wait. Why is it 3 again?
So you go 30, 40, 50. That's 2 degrees above the 10 of success, and you get plus 1 for success. So that makes 3.
He rolled a 37, so his threshold should be 57 to be.
No. The third success is just for succeeding. Sorry, the first one or the last one is just for succeeding. So there's 2 different 10s, yeah? It's 40, 50, and then +1 for success.
Wait, do we count?
No. We count each 10, so it'd be hero 37.
No, don't take the 7, Jim. Ignore the 7. Ignore the 7. It's only on the 10 digit. It's not. It's in the rule book. It's counting the 10s, not the units. Yes.
Yeah, but like. Okay.
So we've unless the sheet has done it.
Because I don't think we ever did that. I think we always used
every
10 points.
We have always ignored the units.
We've kind of always went by the 10s.
No,
even in the Oni War and
it's
stuff,
100% always by the 10s, unless a character sheet was coded to count the units, which I'm pretty sure none of them did. Maybe the fantasy one did.
This one is.
But yeah, it's in the rule book. It states it is the 10s digit, which is the ones that matter for degrees of success, not the units. The units are almost irrelevant, except from the fact of how the character levels. Because obviously, Heinrich's level is 52. So if he had rolled a 32, no, that still wouldn't have made any difference.
It's either
Well, it's still a misses for shooting people.
It's either 2 degrees or 3 degrees. I think either of those is not bad.
Yeah.
Honestly.
With 3 degrees, I believe it puts you up to the next category. Because there are categories for degrees of success. Like, I believe 5 is the highest that you get. That's like all the knowledge. 3, you've got the middle of the road. So I can tell you it depends on the chapter, whether they are referred to as angels or not. There are chapters which are specifically linked to the ecclesiarchy where they are referred to 100% as angels, and they have no problem with that. But the basic knowledge for you here and now is that some do, some don't. It depends on the chapter. With 3 degrees of success, you 100% know that none of the founding chapters accept this.
Okay.
And he is a founding chapter, so you 100% know my lord is far more acceptable. Well, it's acceptable. I don't think a Dark Angel would kill you for calling them an angel.
The Dark Angel will kill you for a lot of things, my dude.
I mean, it's still a Dark Angel.
Well, so the salamanders will never kill a human, no matter what they say. The space marine, the space marines, the ultramarines would probably correct you and be like, no, I don't. My lord, not angel.
No,
no. Whereas and there isn't actually a founding chapter that I would give this to, but the Minotaurs would execute your ass on the spot.
I actually think the Dark Angels might make you disappear. I actually think Dark Angels might be one of those chapters that makes you disappear.
So for this dude as well, he is 30k. He would not accept Angel. That would probably get him to turn around and look at you like, the fuck did you just call me? Like, maybe the savages I would accept that kind of shit from if I'd fallen from the sky, but you? But yeah, with your rogue trader knowledge...
I referred to him as my lord,
yeah,
mostly because basically they are seen as lords and nobles above like anyone else on the fucking on the planet.
Yeah, and that again for your rogue trader knowledge as well. That is the accepted title or honorific that you would give to all Space Marines as a standard. Again, you have the knowledge to know if I had put a chapter, which I can't remember which ones are directly related to the ecclesiarchy, but you have a higher chance of knowing, oh, this one we could call, an angel has come to save us, and they would appreciate it. But you know, and you can let everyone know, do not refer to him as a fucking angel. He will not like it. I know they're called the Dark Angels,
Angel is
but
fine. But actually referring to him as like some form of angelic, like proper angelic being, rather than just like the honorific of being an angel, is no, I'm gonna get fucking killed here.
And for 30k Space Marines, I would probably give that to all of them. Would never, because you're only dealing with. Well, maybe the word bearers would accept that, but. Even then, I don't think they would accept it.
Word bearers were on the wrong side of Kansas.
Yes, I mean if you catch a 30k, well, yeah, they are mostly from 30k. So yeah,
no,
you're deep shit.
The only one would be able to like do that with, and not get fucking fed to a chaos spawn is the Anchorite.
Yes, yeah, I was gonna say there's at least one, possibly two named word bearers who stayed Imperial. I know there's more than that. There is actually maybe 100 at the end of the heresy that had stayed loyal. Same with all the traitor legions.
There's a small amount of like each legion that basically either stayed loyal or turned traitor. There's even White Scars that turned traitor.
Yeah, and the Iron Hands also turned traitor. Well, yeah, but then they're just a fuck. I'm gonna fuck with you, Legion. But there were Iron Hands who turned traitor. But they were brought back by a dreadnought who had been personally upgraded by Ferrus Manus. Can't remember what legion the dreadnought was for. I think he was Blood Angel. No, he would
Salamander.
Oh no, yeah, maybe he was a salamander.
It was a salamander that walked alongside Ferrus Manus.
Yeah, and he talked them back.
Who are the loyal
salamanders
that do all the augmentations?
Iron Hands.
No,
I think it's just the Iron Hands, really. They're the only ones that are really pro. They will happily lop off an arm to replace it, whereas all the legions will replace if they lose an arm. Yeah, the Iron Hands are the ones that are going to take my leg. Give me a cybernetic.
Oh, hey, you finished your scout trials? Here, give me your hand real quick.
That's actually that is I actually think that is correct. That they all have one cybernetic when they join the upgrade.
it's the more extreme version of what the fucking Crimson Fist do. The Crimson Fist just paint your gauntlet red. The Iron Hands literally chop your fucking hand off, give you a cybernetic hand.
But the funny thing is, they're
Snow also tortures their hands. As an initiation, right?
Like torch it.
Like, didn't they reclaim the fist?
No,
of
that's
Dawn?
Dawn. Yeah, that's Dawn's hand. And that was.
You're mixing up Dorn's hand, which is actually a Thunderhammer, and the Pain Glove, which is a torture device that Dorn used to temper his mind.
Yeah, but also the only thing of Dawn that remains is his hand, which they've written the name of every chapter master on since.
Oh, that too.
Since there's a lot of hand stuff with Dawn. But
I mean, I thought I read somewhere that they used the torture.
Yes,
they still use the
yeah. The chapter master has it.
As an initiation, right?
Oh, the pain glove is a thing like they sit in. It's not like a thing they insert their hand into like in fucking Dune. It's actually like a full-on device that they have to like crawl their body into.
Yeah, the Dawn created it, as far as I'm aware, after the Emperor died. That it was his way of. Is that not right?
Before that.
Oh, was it
before that?
Why did he make it before it then?
It's how he was tempering his mind. What he would do on his original home planet was sit in the freezing cold water, whereas when he left the planet, he was finding another way to temper himself through pain.
Oh, so it's one of his relics, the same as like Vulcan's relics. Yeah. Okay.
It was after the fact. It was after the Emperor died and was entombed in the Golden Throne. That's when he sat himself in the pain glove for like. I don't remember how long, but like an ungodly amount of time that would have killed a normal person.
Yeah, and it was after that he comes out and decides to go after Perturabo.
Goes to the Iron Cage.
Yes.
He spent his entire time in there considering the Imperium and the Codex of Starlight.
Does the Codex condone that action?
Primarchs are above. Primarchs are above
he
it.
didn't give a fuck. The Codex almost.
It was mostly a joke about. It was mostly a joke about Space Marine 2 coming out soon.
Oh, yeah.
The Codex compliant.
We have a special pre-order bonus DLC where you get to kick Leandros around like a fucking little punch bag, because fuck the little bitch boy.
Codex Astartes does not condone this action.
Yeah.
I don't care, Leandros. Curl up in like a ball. Why the fuck is this playing?
Geddy, how dare you? I've been here from the beginning. Yeah, hang on, no, it wasn't. I've been here because this has me hosted.
This holds me hostage.
Sorry, I've
been here because this holds me hostage.
I need to expand it a bit so I can actually see the whole chat. I'm not going to deny this. I keep this chunk quite true.
I mean, I say that I'm one of the main ones that has to go. Like, I'm sorry, guys, I have to postpone this week.
It's right.
Yeah, but look, we've kept this group together longer than most relationships last. I mean,
Jesus Christ!
The one thing I'm really proud of is over these years that we've kept the group together. We've had to add some more people. Some people have left, but the group has somehow
stayed strong and together.
Somehow it has. Like no one. Like we've had a few big falling outs with some people. But most people have had to move away because of work or life or, other things have come up. It's not as if they're gone forever, which is, my understanding, really rare for a gaming group to
Yeah. I had to kill off a friend of mine's character like 3 times because he kept moving away. He kept moving away and then coming back, moving away, coming back. It was fine as fuck. He made 3 identical characters, all of which had the same name.
They're just clones.
No, they were siblings. And his last character was their dad trying to find them.
It's like, I'm a triplet. Yeah, I've got 2 brothers who look exactly like me. Oh, that one died. Yeah. Oh, have you seen my brother? I've come searching for him. Oh, I'm so sorry. He
They were
he
all,
died on an
They were
adventure.
all rangers. They were all rangers. The only difference was one had multi-classed into fighter, one multi-classed into rogue, one multi-classed into monk.
You wiped out a whole family. A whole
sorry,
family line
but-
is gone.
You guys are aware of Concord, right?
What, the play? Yeah.
What?
Concord.
No, the game.
Oh, no. Oh, hang on.
Concord, yeah.
Is that the one that where you go through the year, like you move on like 10, 20 years at a time, and you can have your
No,
ancestors?
It was-
Concord's Sony's.
It was
like,
Sony Overwatch, but done
Yeah.
shittily. We had like less than 600 players at start.
it's shutting down
Oh,
after
I
11
got ya.
days. It's shutting down after 11 days.
That's hang on. After I would have
8
thought it would have
years
taken
in
longer to to fail.
Yeah,
11 days
8
later we
years in
failed.
development and the closing of Sony Japan, and it's gone after 11 days.
2 days ago or 3 days ago, they only had like 40 players left.
Holy shit. So
Yeah.
to go back to the game,
Before we get sidetracked again.
you've got your lore, which took us on this tangent. The Ismerians seem to be functioning pretty well without you. If you go in to drop some food off to the sisters, or shield sisters, battle sister, they are all sisters. They'll give you an update on the battle sister that she's, she needs to recover. She's lost her strength now because her body's fully into I need to repair myself. You can move her if you want, but they would rather stay for a couple of days and get her back
They're in
up
the
to speed.
fortified by now.
Can I
right?
bring her along with me to the
We-
Dark Age?
If you want
sounds
to, because you've brought it up, if you want to, you can, and the Archaeotech device will heal her quicker. But
Yeah.
you will have to show her the Archaeotech device. She won't accept being
Yeah.
blindfolded from the depths of Mechanicus or a rogue trader.
We can't blindfold her and stuff her in a dark box for like 3 days.
She's not
shall we?
anus. She's not anus. You can't just...
I mean, I don't think you can convince the Astartes to ask her nicely.
No, so
I-
all it
see,
is,
the thing
Ezio is... Ezio. All it is, Cray, is she will report it back. If you show this Archaeotech facility, at the moment, it's still a hidden...
I'm not pulling her along.
So she's quite happy to stay here and just recover and go back to, and then it stays a secret. The Space Marine's going because he needs to leave this place.
Yeah.
And
it's
he's
gonna be a
not
nicer
really going
place
to tell
go.
anyone anyway, so...
He's literally from the Legion of Secrets. He's going to keep secrets anyway.
He's going to be happy that he's got a secret of yours. He's like, I like this. I approve. A little
Secret.
approval of the image comes up when you tell him that. They have secrets.
Alright,
I
where's the
approve.
prisoners? Let's go.
The prisoners...
are already loaded up.
Yes, they have
Nice.
been copied and pasted and deleted from this map.
Nice.
You can take the vehicle. The vehicle will make it a lot quicker. Or you can walk up there. It'll take you an hour. Cooney
I'll
is
take the
muted,
car.
but I imagine unless she's determined to stay with the Ismerians, then she's coming too.
God, no. Fuck that.
Cooney! Here, Cooney.
Is there a reason for the Serbo Spider to defend this place when you're not here? Not really. So it comes along. Muttermouth and Thomas.
I really forgot about the fucking servo spider during that fight.
I know. Especially because of its melee attack as well.
Yeah.
They're going to stay here because they don't see the reason to go with you, and the Astartes scares them. Cray, do you want to take the tech priest with you? She is a tech priest. Do you want to take the tech priest with you? Or do you want to keep this secret from her as well?
I mean, she didn't swear allegiance yet to me, so...
No, like at the moment she doesn't know.
She hasn't, but she did swear, she would assist us as any way she can for freeing her.
Yes, she
She has basically been employed Don't forget.
She doesn't know that there's more Adeptus Mechanicus members on World, for a start. So you are the only ones that she's seen. So, you know, was it loyalty through true loyalty, or was it, you know, these people will save me, and I'll do anything, just please, I'll serve you, just get me the fuck out.
We don't even know. We don't even know how she'll side, you know, in that like little bit of a schism.
Yes.
So,
like at the moment,
like we're the one that freed them.
yes.
You seem more connected to her than fucking anyone else, especially because you've also just reassembled part of her fucking augmetics. So.
And
I think she's fine to bring with us, I'm not going to lie.
There is some communication back during this point. I'm not saying that Cray is just there, just like a machine, just does the work. And there is some talking between the two of you. Like, you know that she is a void-born tech priest. She was born on a ship, trained on a ship, went to a forge world only when the ship docked with a forge world to get her... like certifications, to get other tech priests to acknowledge her, so on and so forth, and be put into the system. She holds no allegiance to any Forge world. It was the ship she had allegiance to, which is, for most Voidborn, that's how they are. They don't care about Forge worlds, they care about the ship that they were born on. Kind of is what it is.
She can come along.
Albie, listen, also.
Then she can come along.
She was born on a ship, she worked on a ship, and you will be shipped.
And also,
congratulations.
I don't know, like it last one.
Cray,
this is your assigned waifu.
You can also tell that she is a Voidborn, because Voidborns do look different to other humans. They are a little bit like Aircast, a Tau. They're longer, skinnier, and pale as fuck. Yeah. Well, that's a bit different from but they're more slender in build, which is very typical for the Aircast in Tau. So
yeah, but she's also probably more likely going to be like fucking whiter than paper.
Yes, and she does also struggle a little. Like, if she tries to exert herself on a planet, she struggles more than what a planet-born human would deal with, because she's used to slightly lower gravity. I think the Imperial ships are slightly lower than Earth ships. There is a difference.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, when you go on a ship, will be like, oh my god, I can almost jump. I can jump further. I can, where she's, you know, God, it's so heavy. But yeah, no, not a problem. So it probably takes you about 15 minutes. Do I go over to the map? I will go to the map. But then, yeah, I will go to the map. Hang on, I'm going to have to do some bits. We'll take you over there. So it's probably going to take you maybe 15 minutes. It takes you a bit longer than what you would expect when you're in a vehicle, but you are going off country. You know, it's not on paved roads. It's not on... I know it takes you about an hour to get here by foot. You would think it'd be a lot quicker by vehicle, but, you know, things as they are, yeah, it takes you a little bit longer than you would expect. We'll put them there. That's all correct. We just need an Astartes and an Tech Priest. So the Astartes comes in and sees some of the grandeur of the cave. Adeptus Tech Priests. And I want generic Tech Priest. Generic Tech Priest. Enter and be amazed. The Tech Priest crate is like, sees the technology and in wonder and doing all the normal praise to the machine spirits and the Omnisire, as you would expect. Kind of shocked when she sees Tau drones, but looks at you, looks at the Rogue Trader, looks back at the clearly Tau armor, and shuts the fuck up. Fortunately, the Astartes, not knowing what the fuck a Tau is, genuinely doesn't know. doesn't know what, like, this Astartes is older than your entire civilization, Cooney. Technically. No,
Could you believe that in the amount of time he's been alive, a new race was born?
I mean, you
He's
guys.
raised to the level where we can fight against them.
he's from
you
10,000 years in the past. He's actually
I
older
know.
than
I mean, Jim, I do want to say, you guys did get the Warp Storm special.
Oh no, I fully 100%.
Well, the total
someone
planet, as far as I know, was like in 35. In M35, they were basically monkey level. Then there came a Warp Storm, and after the Warp Storm, they were Weeaboos.
To be honest with you, Albie, that would explain it. But unfortunately, that's not what happened, as far as I'm aware, unless the law has changed. As far as I'm aware, literally, this is my problem with the Tau. They have literally evolved from cave dwellers to spacefaring in 6,000 years. And there's no, like, with their weapons, there's no evolution of their weapons, which you have in the human weapon list.
I mean, that's
it's GW's fault. Don't get me wrong. It's GW's fault, but I still massively am like, no to it.
But I don't know. There might just not be law about the weapons changing along the time, but that would make logical sense that they changed along the time, because the Tau keep evolving and new, like for instance, the wars are changing. So it's not that big of a leap to
honestly,
honestly,
a warp storm makes more sense. That a warp storm rolled in and the Tau worlds were lost. They just did. No one knows that they were lost. Even the Tau don't realise that they were lost. They were lucky. They fell into a warp storm and they're actually 25,000 years old, not 6. That would make more sense. But that's not the case.
That was the old lore, actually.
The old lore, the current lore and the new lore and all the lore is they're 6,000 years old. The Mechanicus found them when they were cave-dwelling primates, but they're not primates. And then the next time they reappeared was they were a spacefaring group.
I mean, if you think about it...
The quick fluff behind them is the air caste, the fire caste, and the earth caste were all at war with each other, and then the ethereals turned up one day and brought peace and stability through the greater good, which leads a lot of people to believe that that's got something to do with the warp or the old ones or some other species getting involved, because it's when the ethereals emerge that they come together as one people and then move on to the space.
Like, for instance, how long has it been since humanity discovered flight?
150 years?
Yeah. How long has
100
it been
years?
since first made a computer?
No, humanity in the 20th century has evolved rapidly. Yeah, but our species has been around for thousands of years, and for thousands of years we didn't get much done.
When they were just when the tribal Tau were discovered, they were cave dwellers. They weren't cave dwellers. No, they were.
Yeah, they were basically
primitive
feudal.
people. Yeah, they were near feudal.
Yeah, so like now imagine if the entire humanity working together, the greatest minds of this planet, would be in space in less than 20 years. Like
the rapid expansion of them was massive. Like the rapid growth of their technology was still massive. But it's not as...
Again, see, here's the other problem you come to, which I've used this analogy for America as well. So how the fuck are you populating all these planets with millions of Tau without inbreeding?
Fucking
like you are fucking your own sisters, cousins, brother. Like there's some inbreeding going on there for your population.
That's one of the things the ethereals are doing. The ethereals are literally have essentially breeding
programs. Come on, the Tau are so nice. The Tau are so like, if that's new law, then I get it. It does play along more to my belief of how the Tau should be living in the 40k universe, rather than what they are shown to be in certain fluff material.
I mean, like, didn't we go from like how many billion people were there in the world in the 1900s?
No, so in the 20th century, we have had massive advances in technology and population, but we still don't have plasma technology. That's something that the world is putting a lot of money into, but it takes time to develop. And the Tau's time of development has been rapidly cut short because, again, we don't know. So going back to if they were primitive, like feudal era Tau, not cave dwellers, so we're knocking off 10,000 years, 15,000 years that humans went from cave dwellings to proper brick and mortar feudal or more. You still have this issue of when did the ethereals appear, and unfortunately, again, from GW, we don't know. So
we all agree fuck GW and let's continue playing.
So as you bring the prisoners down, I imagine they are, blindfolded and tied up and, don't know what's going on.
I guess I would just tie them up. I mean, I'm going to butcher them anyway, so...
Okay, so they can see everything that's going to happen to them. Marvellous. So as they're brought down, I've got it on the map that you kind of line them up. Cray, it's a very easy procedure for you to lie them down on the Archaeotech medical bed, and it scans them. It brings up that some organs are contaminated. I mean, most organs are contaminated with some amount of radiation and bad. Like the organs are already at 80-70%. The machine is not very pleased with the purity of the organs, but they are harvestable. So you only have to tick off the boxes for harvest and then begin the procedure. And if you are inclined, do prayers to the Omnisire as, this poor motherfucker gets split open and then taken. I'm sure it says anesthetic, and you're like, no, he's going to be awake.
I will just bash them.
They tie them down,
smack them on the head.
Go minimal treatment for them. Just get as many organs as you can and harvest them. Good
life for you to bring for servitors.
The machine.
Or are the brains not harvestable?
So unlike a cyborg, you don't harvest the human brain for a servitor. You take the whole body, the nervous system, everything, and you simply cyberize it. So if you wanted to turn them into servitors, you would have to have the components to put into them to make... Because obviously you're harvesting their organs. You can't harvest all the organs and servitor them. You'd need to replace, the digestive system and the lungs, and with a cybernetic replacement that keeps the body alive and then cybernetics to take over controlling the body. You don't have these components yet. So at the moment, all you can do is harvest all the goodness out of them. So like I said, you can take all the organs, you can technically take all the blood from them, the spinal fluid, the pretty much everything. I don't know if there would be a reason for you to harvest the brain. That might be the one organ that this machine has no use for as a harvestable item, unless there's fluids or something that can suck out of it.
It's an awful lot of fat.
If the Astartes wants them for information, he can have them.
I mean, that may be something you want to bring up with the Astartes.
I'll just okay, no, that's one thing I'll need Forbidden Lore Astartes to know. That would be complete out of character knowledge.
Yeah, no, good for calling that out.
You're talking about them eating people.
Yeah, eating brains.
They can devour. No, they can devour people, but the brains are the most effective ones for getting knowledge.
I mean, wouldn't he have already done that? He was with them.
No, genuinely speaking, the Astartes don't just eat the brains of any idiot.
I meant it in the way of, wouldn't he already have the knowledge since he was with them after all?
Yeah, that too.
But
he already has some knowledge.
You can learn a lot by doing it, but genuinely speaking, Astartes don't, like, if they're on a mission, and like I've read this in a book, listened to it, whatever, where they were fighting orcs and the Astartes ate some of its brain and was like, oh right, yeah, no, they've got more people over here, and if it's got to do with the mission, they will eat anyone's brain, but like eating one of their brains, there's nothing he could learn from it that would be of any use. However, unless anyone stops Cray from doing what he's doing, the other two watch as their friend is butchered in front of them as he slowly gets broken down into this machine.
No, I don't care about these fuckers. I'll be taking the Astartes over and showing the charging port and stuff like that. And, like, this is like how you can refit your armor and such. Like this is where you can like tend to your stuff. There'll be some additional equipment and stuff here. Yada yada yada.
So he looks at a lot of the equipment and the masonry that still remains and so on and so forth, and he would mention that this is pre-imperial.
Yes.
And see how much, you nod, and yes, architect, yes, mine.
This whole planet predates. It seems to predate the Imperium. It seems to date back to Old Night.
He regards how this area is well defendable, because it technically is. It's a mountain fort, essentially, for what it is. You've got to come up winding paths which are perfect for ambushing, and it's a well defendable area. This would probably be the first point where you see him remove his helm. He has numerous scars running across his face. His features do resemble the lion, because Astartes resemble their Primarch in a more or lesser of a manner. He's not obviously a direct. He doesn't look like the lion, but he has features that resemble the lion. In some of his portraits, probably only Heinrich, maybe Cray, would have seen portraits of the Primarchs, which are old enough to actually be anywhere near accurate, but there are some resemblance. As far as I'm aware, he doesn't have a beard. I don't know how common beards were I would like him to have a beard, because, noble knight and son, but I'm pretty sure most Astartes are clean shaven.
If they were Terran, they didn't have a beard. If they were Calibanite, they could grow a beard, or they would grow a beard.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he wouldn't have a beard then, because he is Terran.
Okay. The Terran style would be clean shaven and like.
He would have grey eyes, because I believe grey eyes are a very Terran attribute.
Okay.
He tells you that essentially he will need the assistance of the tech priest to remove his armor, and he will need some assistance in repairing parts of the armor. I don't know how blacksmithy the Dark Angels are. I imagine he can do basic repairs, because every soldier should be able to do basic repairs to their equipment. But some bits he may actually need a tech priest to repair.
He's So just so you're aware what you've kind of brought in here. You have a Terran Dark Angel, aka one of the First Legion,
Yes.
aka the template for every other Legion to follow.
Yes. I just don't know how much of the...
They're very much jack of all trades kind of thing.
Okay.
It's actually kind of hilarious.
Wait,
Okay.
so Horizons weren't the First Legion.
The First Legion was the sons that would become the Dark Angels.
I believe Horus was the first one
Lions.
found.
Horus was
right?
the first one
It's the first
found,
one.
but the Dark
Yeah.
Angels was the First Legion.
So the Dark Angels also assisted in the unification wars massively because they were
The
the
Dark Angels were
first.
there at the execution of the Thunder Warriors, according to new lore.
Yes. So they were the direct replacements for them. So they were their executioners in other
Them,
states.
the Custodies, were the things that killed the Thunder Warriors. Yeah.
Yeah. So he removes his helmet. He would be clean shaved, but he still does have some attributes of the Lion on him because they just morph that way. He'll tell you that he'll stay here rather than the inbred village, but he does also request answers to, and he points to the weird floaty things and to the other creature that has no feet.
I will.
I
No.
think my drones, if that's what he pointed, they should be on standby. So would they be floating?
Well, they don't have any wheels.
Well, yeah, no, they're just resting on the
They
fucking.
they have no
That's
no
what we're trying to-
way of moving. So he's taking it that they must move because they're also not attached to the ground. In that there's no anchor point. There's no, like a trench turret might. They have they're inbuilt in the ground, so you can see that they're attached. The drones aren't attached, so it's like.
Yeah. I will simply shrug. They are of a lesser Xenos creation, the Tau.
He points to the thing with no feet. That is a towel.
That is a biological example of a Tau.
Are they a slave species? Has the Imperium accepted these inferior races into their hold?
Here on the fringes of the Imperium, rogue traders such as myself are, by writ and order, allowed to assimilate certain sanctioned Xenos into retinues. Only rogue trader retinues. They are kept at an arm's length, and only.
But they are
chosen
not
for
part of the
special
Imperium
occasions.
as a whole.
No,
Good.
and nor will they ever be accepted into the core worlds. I kind of give you a little bit of a glance at that, Cooney. It's kind of like the unspoken truth of all this. Like I can never bring Cooney into like the core worlds of the Imperium.
Kuni doesn't mind it at all.
In high Gothic, he says, "The abomination should be slain here and now. But it is your decree that you have the right to allow this inferior Xenos filth into your retinue."
I'll stiffen up. Oh, go ahead.
Is it bad that I took High Gothic once I reached rank 6 and I understand that I will say nothing about it?
I mean, small auto character comment. This is definitely a Dark Angel.
Yes.
I mean, like Kuni doesn't mind.
I'm gonna straighten up a bit and like I'll continue the conversation in like High Gothic and such, like to appease him and such. And well, my lord, you've seen the breeding of which we have access to here. You have seen the abhumans, The Fethans.
Good point. The film that stood next to you. I need to delete them. I didn't even realise they were there. Let's get rid of them.
You have seen you have seen like the Beastmen, the Fetids of this world. You have seen the degenerated near mutants of Izmir.
The Imperial Army has used abhumans. Beastmen are not.
Yes, but this Tau I would rank higher than any of those among the lesser populations. We don't have much in the way of absolute pure human stock on this world, at least very little, and those that are here, like at the I'll mention like the church, like the tower, the spire, whatever it's called, are not fully under our protectorate at the moment. But I have seen Kuni's skill. I have seen her expertise and such, and I can safely say that I would gladly have her in my retinue. And as per my right as rogue trader, I will more than happily make use of this.
I acknowledge the degradation of the human strain on this world. It is a pitiful sight. In truth, they deserve to be given mercy. The mercy that comes with the end of life. But I do acknowledge as well that these are dire straits. And that
these
all...
are dire straits. The enemy, the great enemy, is on this world. And these may be pitiful examples of humanity, but they still fight against this great enemy. They're still fighting for their chance. I believe that they could make a very good...
The beast men do not concern me. They are accepted in the Imperial Army. They have been sanctioned. I will not relish the opportunity to fight alongside them, but there is humanity within them. That is why they were allowed. But that is a Xenos. I only accept that it is in your retinue under dire straits. As long as they are human, they may be saved. May. He almost spits the word as he refers to the Izmirians.
I will move out of the way. I don't want to get hit with fucking acid.
True. And all beastmen have the human strain within them. But, as you say, the need is dire. Keep it away from me, and do not let it anywhere near my war gear. I only acknowledge it because your word struck me. I am loyal. That means something. But I feel that slipping with it near me. He stops himself. My progenitor would be disgusted if he could see me anywhere near that thing. Rogue trader, it is a mark of my tolerance that I will accept it in my vicinity. Under your protection, I understand your right to protect it.
I would give a rather steep, or rather steep or deep bow at that. Like, I thank you, my lord.
Tell me of its species. How do we best kill it? Kuni, I want a charisma roll from you.
Charisma?
You understand this shit. I want a charisma roll. You need to try and hide the fact it wants to know how best to kill you.
I am also jaded though, so like...
It doesn't. He's the Astartes.
Can I have a mask?
He has very acute.
He does. She does have a mask.
You do
She
have a
does
helmet
mask.
on. You do have a helmet on.
I have a helmet on always.
I will give you a minus. In this case, it would be a plus 20 to your charisma roll. He's an Astartes. If you twitch, he's going to notice. Like, this is the other heightened senses. They can see if you twitch, like, uh-oh. And he'll know that you can understand what he's saying in High Gothic. So you do get a plus 20. You do get a plus 20. You can make an argument for any other charisma-based, or
isn't there
fellowship.
such a thing that I can use a fate point to gain a plus 5?
Not now that you've rolled. You could have got a plus 10 if you had declared it beforehand. You can re-roll.
I'll just use a fate point. It's okay. Nah,
got worse. So to be
I don't
honest,
care.
if you'd accepted the failure as a 0.5, it wouldn't have been so bad. But because you've technically got, so it's when you're counting down, it's only the tens. So that should be a -3. It wouldn't be a -4 for the +1 for succeeding. So a -3. Your shoulders
in Rogue Trader is a bit different. I check the rules.
Does
in
it?
Rogue Trader, you check every 10 full
Every
numbers.
full
Don't
10.
give it to. You can't give it to.
Oh, so it's Rogue Trader
Oh,
that
shit,
that worded
okay.
it every full 10. Well, we're not going to accept that. We're doing, because that makes things more complicated. We're going with 10s because that makes. There's a reason they updated it because it makes it easier.
I mean, but the thing does it for us anyway, so.
No, it genuinely doesn't, because it doesn't add the +1 for succeeding onto rolls.
Yeah, that's easy enough to remember. That's only one.
And
Yeah,
I can tell. But the thing is, I can tell at a quick glance. Right, that's -3. Right, we carry. Or that's +3 at a quick glance, rather than going, okay, so he's got that. So no, you're 0.1% off, or you're 0. But for a quick, you're technically it's -3. Even at -2 is more than your first roll.
It's okay.
So even with 2 degrees of, it's not a -6. You've gone to grab your weapon, but your shoulders, your shoulders have twitched. Your head has moved slightly, just to where it's almost like you've just. Like your Paymord, he wants to know how to kill us. How do the Imperium think is best to kill us? You've taken it, and it's shown in a slight twitch.
Like, I have a shitload of things, even like Envoy of the Greater Good and stuff like that, that makes me better at diplomacy. But even then, it's fine. I just go.
It's one of those things where if someone was talking, if I could speak Thai and someone was like, how best to get him pissed, how best to kill him, you'd be like, your head moves a little. It's that.
I mean, I'd probably be a little bit bothered, but I'd probably just move away. But then again, he's speaking in a language that I don't know, even though I have polyglot. And
no, I thought you said you had High Gothic.
I do have High Gothic.
Yeah, so you
polyglot and High Gothic.
Yeah, so you do. That's exactly what I mean. You do understand. Know what he's saying. So there's enough movement that he's noticed, and whilst he lets Heinrich produce the knowledge that the Imperium has on the Tau, afterwards, well, actually,
No, I'm not going into that. I'm not.
For example, Heinrich, it would be, well, the Tau are known for their long-range attacks, and they're very skilled at. You're giving him some. He would lean in, and if Cooney is walking away, he would lean in and let you know.
I as Heinrich only know very little, so I would be like, okay, so what I do know of the Tau is they are expert long-range shooters,
and he moves in as you're talking.
And
it knows what we are
known
saying.
To use their own variety of battle suits or knights, but that is all I truly know of the Tau directly, because
Yeah, but as you're saying this, he moves in and tells you she knows what we're saying quietly. Like,
I look puzzled. What?
you two are speaking in High Gothic. He's laid a trap for the Xenos to find out. Remember, he's a secretive motherfucker. He wants to find out. Does she know what we're saying? I'm speaking High Gothic to be secure. Is the line secure? He's put the bait out there. She's twitched a bit enough for, again, a very paranoid person to be like, she knows. She understands High Gothic. So whilst you're talking, he's used that as to lean in and tell you, yeah, she knows what we're saying. Remember, he's a Dark Angel. He's paranoid.
Okay. I kind of stop. Okay.
So their close quarters is lacking.
At this point, I'm rather puzzled and confused, and I'm not 100% sure. They're more long ranged, I think.
It would make sense given the rifle that one is carrying. I do not see any melee weapons. Its armor is formidable in design, however.
I'm going to look over at Cray. Is he still in the process of dissecting a motherfucker?
Cray,
I'm
you
just
can
in my own headspace.
Cray, you can hear all of this. If you speak High Gothic, you know exactly what they're talking about. But you are also watching the machine, decapitate or harvest the. Actually, the other tech priest would also be there. Oh, you don't? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, no, it's only me and Cooney that actually know High Gothic.
I do seem to remember this was a complaint about Rogue Trader with tech priests. You do, okay.
High Gothic explainer, low Gothic, and technology.
So yeah, you can hear what's going on, Cray. You can hear the conversation and so on. You might just be like, I don't care. This wonder of technology is stripping the organs. Look at how it does it so efficiently and with minimum blood loss. Look at how every drop. You might be enraptured by the machine. You are a tech priest. The other tech priest is enraptured by the machine and how it is working autonomously. There might be a bit of fear in her as well. But
so what's the name of the tech priest? Gamma Delta?
Yeah, I believe it was Gamma Delta.
Gamma Delta 48, okay.
Yeah, there were some numbers I gave today. I believe Gamma Delta was the number one part of her name. But yeah, she's enraptured by that. She's not paying attention. I don't think an engine seer can speak High Gothic. I think that's a bit further along the XP expenditure chart. So she's enraptured by the machine. But Cray, you do hear what's being talked about by the Space Marine and Heinrich. Again, it's up to you if you want to interpose yourself or if you are, again, enraptured by the machine's function.
I'm enraptured by the machine, and Bossman can figure out the big scary dude.
Yeah,
fair enough.
At this point, I'm going to if that is the case, then my lord, what if we tend to your armory and make sure you're preserved or not preserved, make sure it is being preserved and rested for you while we take care of the other matters needed.
I should be able to deal with most of the repairs, but I will need the tech priest's assistance with some of them. Moreover, access to his tools.
I'll look over at Cray at this point and hey, what do you think? Can you and Gamma Delta begin assisting? What was his name? The Knight? Or the Marine?
Has he given you his full name? No, he's at the moment he is the Knight. I don't think he's given you his full name. He does have a full name, but he hasn't given it to you yet. Again, secretive.
Yeah.
Cards close to the chest, kind of.
So, if you can help us with, if you can help the Knight with his with his armor and such. As he did say he needed assistance actually removing it. I'll watch the prisoner. Makuni and I can watch the remaining prisoners as the.
Would there be any remaining prisoners left?
Yeah, it's going to take about an hour or so for each prisoner to get broken down. You know, maybe an hour and a half, depending. Because again, every time it scans it, there's information that, for one, Cray might be fascinated in, and you know his nutrition levels, how the kidneys have dealt with his life, what radiation levels. There might be stuff that you're just interested in, Cray.
Lord, this guy only has 1/10 of his liver left.
Yeah, you know, or maybe he has a rare genetic disorder, or you know, bone cancer. Who knows?
Fuck.
Who knows? But yeah, Cray, you definitely have time in between to assist with the Dark Angels for like removing of his armor. The lore is different depending on where you see it. Some lore says that Space Marines can remove their armor on their own. Some says that they can't, and they literally need a assistant to help remove it. I'm going with they need an assistant because it kind of makes sense. Old knights used to have, you know, assistants to arm them. Kind of makes sense.
It's more it can be done, but it just takes much longer.
I mean, even with something simple as chainmail, it's nice to have an extra dude.
Yeah, I can't remember what he's called now. The word's like on like the tip of my tongue.
Sir.
Squire, that's the one. I was going to say it's the same thing that the Black Templars have, because all the Black Templars have a squire. A neophyte who's, or is it a neophyte or a scout, technically? Anyway.
Neophyte, yeah.
So he will need assistance, but again, he's in no real rush. He is like going over his other war gear.
On this armor thing. So Saturday I wore some chainmail. I think the blooding was like 6 to 10 kilos.
Yeah.
And even just getting it over my head and not bashing my head in it and scratching my entire face if it's nice to have someone else holding it up while I just fall out of it.
Yeah, no, I was fortunate enough as a kid, but I say a kid, I think I was 12. I got to wear chainmail at our local castle because it was for a school trip, and I was man-sized. Everyone else was child-sized.
Did you also get a spear?
No, they didn't give us any. They didn't give us any weapons because we were like 12.
So no toothpick either.
No, I was only given the chainmail and the helmet to put on to feel the weight of just those two parts. And yeah, it's fucking heavy. Like, holy shit. And then you imagine plate on top of that. It's like,
Did they wear plate over chainmail?
well, I believe it was Brigandine. So it was, you have felt, or if not felt, linen. You have padding, you have chainmail, and then it wasn't full plate when you'd wear chainmail. It'd probably be half plate. Like when you have the fully armored knights, no, they didn't have chainmail underneath, because they were pretty much fully encapsulated. They only had chainmail like round the armpits or the joints where they were exposed. But in between, from fully armored knights to, yeah, they did have chainmail and a cuirass. Is that the right word? Chest plate.
Yeah, cuirass.
But the processing of the prisoners is going to take about 4.5 hours. If Cooney and Heinrich want to leave, they can. If not, he will ask some other questions about the world, the wildlife, whereabouts things are located. It's not something that really needs to be role played unless you want to tell him a great battle of, you know, you and the sand lions that are around here. He will take an interest in the idea of hunting dangerous creatures, surprisingly enough. And then also looking at the time, how is everyone doing for time?
I'm okay-ish.
I'm okay-ish. I'm gonna maybe half an hour at most.
I'm okay-ish too.
Okay. So, if you guys are happy just talking to the Astartes, giving him some information, basically we skip forwards 4.5 hours, and all the prisoners have been broken down. There's been some kerfuffle, there's been some begging, some pleading, some you don't have to do this, and but Cray insisted that they all watched what happened to the last one. They did succeed their roles. I'm just wondering if I should have one like try and bite their tongue off, but meh. We'll just have to accept their fate eventually. And then let's add on half an hour or so to remove the armor. Because Cray has shown that he's not heretical, so some prayers said and so forth. I'm just thinking, Cray, are you going to do the repairing of the armor here and now? And you can, if you want, if you give me a tech use roll, and we'll see how many degrees of success you get versus, how long it takes.
I mean, I would more work. What I would do if I have time was to work on the mounting point for the Astartes bolter for the architect's store.
So you can do that. That would be a better project for in your workshop that you've got going at Izmir. The Astartes just wants his war gear worked on. So you can leave Gamma Delta here, and she can basically assist. You might have to leave some of your extra tools that you've acquired, and she can assist the Astartes in doing the repairs to his war gear. And then you can go back to Izmir and do projects that you want to do.
Okay.
Does that sound more like the thing that you want to crack on with?
Right.
Also, I'm going to need a minute. I need to use the bathroom. So you have a think about it. If not, give me a tech use roll or decide.
You can do the tech use roll here, and we start. Okay. We can. Can you hear me, Albie?
Yes.
All right. So we can either stay here and do the tech use roll and spend more time here while you work away at the stuff, or you can carry on your for doing the armor and such. Or if you want, we can go back to your workshop back in what do you call it, Izmir, and work on it there while we leave Delta Gamma here to help the Astartes with tending to most of his gear. Make sense? Or did I cut it out as well? Oh no.
Sorry, I just had a massive brain fart. So either maintain the Astartes stuff here or maintain it in Winston's village.
we can maintain the Astartes armor here, stay here for a bit longer, and you and Delta Gear work on the armor, get it done a little bit faster, and then start some of your projects here, or leave Delta Gamma to do some of the minor repairs here, while we go back to the Wincest village and start the bigger projects like the mounting point for the servitor at your proper workshop in Wincest village.
I would probably I will probably do help Gamma with some of the minor repairs here to make it go faster.
Okay.
Cool. I heard Geddy say Wincest Village. Made me smile. The Wincest. Sure. Give me a.
That's what Albie said. Fuck off. It's not my name for it. I keep forgetting to say Izmir.
Okay, with.
So 5 degrees of success.
Yeah, see, that time it calculated it correctly because it's 4.
Because it has 52
and
to
plus 1.
96.
Yeah, so here's the thing. We don't know if it's actually counting the 10, the units or not. And this has always been a problem.
It is kind of the units. That's the thing.
It is counting the units. If you look at the formula used, it's 96. This threshold minus roll times 100 modulo 999 modulo 100. The math checks out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where you found it, on degrees of success. Sorry, I was looking at the roll and the thing. I was like, where the fuck is this 999 bit? Oh, it's on the... Yeah, okay. It's on degrees. But it's still not adding the one for success. So I mean, it is 5, like you said, but that one... Yeah, maybe I will... Because that one calculated it at 0, which is correct. I'll count it as 2 degrees, which... Yeah, okay. I guess that is 2 degrees if you count it with the units, and okay. But then you get the Heimrich's common law rogue trader, where it's like 1 degree.
It's still not counting the 1 for success. But it's No, that would have been right.
Oh,
Okay,
I suppose, yeah, if it is 57 threshold, then it would be 2 degrees, but it's not... Counts that as... Is that...
Yeah,
I
if we
suppose
just
it is
remember to add
correct.
1 to what it comes up on the actual thing, it should be fine. You happy enough with that?
Yeah, I'm going to flip-flop whatever happens, depending on how many weeks pass before I remember it, so it doesn't matter. The situation that it comes in, it might benefit the players where you all shut the fuck up and like, no, we're fine with that. You know?
Yeah.
As long as the negative's never too bad, I'm sure everyone will be fine. So yeah, sure. With 5 degrees of success, we are talking minor battlefield damage. Minus 12 HP is not minor, but it.
The man got hit by bolt rounds.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, that still counts as minor to medium damage for power armor, you know.
Yeah.
So again, maybe you've collected some armor that you can use to weld per certain divots shut. Maybe because again, that's never really explained. But yeah, you're able to do the repairs to the battle damage. So technically, you've also got the Gamma Delta assisting you, which will probably give you another plus 10, I should imagine. So that's 6 degrees. So what would have been a 2-3 hour job of welding, sanding, and so on and so forth has been cut down dramatically. So what I said, 6 degrees. So with all your cybernetics and your tools and your so on and so forth, it's taken about half an hour for you to get rid of the battle damage that was inflicted upon the armor. His armor no longer looks as crisp and as clean and as coloured because you don't have a spraying booth in here, but it is repaired. So if you guys wish, you can leave the Astartes here and go back to Izmir. You can also take Alpha Gamma with you, or Gamma Delta, or whatever her name is. You can take her with you, or you can leave her here just to oversee the facility. It's kind of up to you here, Cray. she will. I mean, she'll follow whatever Heinrich says, but at the end of the day, you are cog homies, so you know.
I would take her along with me.
Okay. So farewells sent to the Astartes as you all return back to Izmir. Again, the actual travel is only taking you like 15 minutes in the car. So once you return, again, 5 hours have passed. You can see as you arrived that the Izmirians are in the fields. They're using the herd beast to plough and to move stuff. They are using the brand new technology of the watering bucket to water the crops, and they all seem to be growing well. The milkmaid, which I believe what she was, the milkmaid is out there giving orders and telling, you know, the Izmirians how to handle the herd beast and
That's what she's there for, yeah.
That is what she's there.
Yeah.
She is doing her job. I believe the other one's a baker who's helping them with growing as well as making bread and, you know, everything that has to do with it. The baker and the milkmaid.
Teaching the inbreds how to fucking, you know, live not a fucking poverty-stricken life.
They do tend to stay together, protecting each other from the advances of the inbreds. But yeah, as you return, everything's kind of going according to clockwork. Cray and Alpha, Gamma, Delta, Beta go off to the...
Alpha got added to the name somehow.
We're just gonna add in some nomenclatures. Add on some honorifics. Sir, or no, Mom Alpha. You go off to the workshop and she assists you with the crafting, creating. Your Archaeotech Servitor has also taken some battle damage, which will need a tech use repaired, but it hasn't been damaged enough to where you have any negatives. You just have to roll to say that, you know, you might get a natural 100. But yeah, you got to do a roll just to give it. I think it lost 2. You got a 9. So fucking Jesus
Christ.
But then hang on, how do you explain that then? Shouldn't that
Because
be 9?
If it rolled a 6, it'd be 9 degrees.
Rules as written.
Oh yeah, if it rolled a 6, it would be 9 degrees. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, okay, because it's...
So it is 9 because +1 for success, but yeah, it would have been 10 if you rolled a 6.
Okay, like, I am still on Dark Heresy where I'm like, well, it's 10 degrees.
Yes.
I am so fixated on Dark Heresy. I'm like, it's 10 degrees.
Hell yeah! Look how fucking fancy
okay,
it is.
so if it was a 6, it would be 60. Okay, it would be 9 degrees. Okay, got it. Okay. That's going to take some time. I'm so used to looking at the 10s and quickly making a decision on it that it is going to take time to do maths and to look at the digits. So yeah, with 9 degrees, it's more than repaired. You also take measurements and calculations for where you're going to do the weapon mounting. When it comes to the weapon mounting, I believe that is an average grade weapon modification, because it's average and it doesn't really have any... Well,
Oh shit, here we go again.
It does have some technology that's used in it, because obviously it is also used for aiming. The Servitor does move it around. What componentry do you have, Ezio? Cray. Ezio, then. If you look in your character sheet, what kind of componentry do you have? I think you've got Archaeotech componentry, or you should have a couple that you got as extras. But you either need to use Archaeotech or normal Imperial components.
10 complex. You have 15 complex components, 25 average, 25 simple.
Complex will work, or you can use Archaeotech if you have them. It won't actually make any difference because it's a weapon mounting.
We don't have Archeotech.
Okay. So you're going to need to use... It's a weapon mounting. You're going to need to use one complex component. The rest of it you can pretty much make from steel and from other materials that you have lying around, I would imagine. It's average, so I believe that's a -10 to the construction. You get a +10 because you've got an assistant helping you. Excuse me. And I believe you also get a +10 for the workshop. So give me a +10 tech use roll. Okay, it does take the digits 100% into account, because that came out as... Although, realistically, it shouldn't have counted that, because it shouldn't go past 100, but it does. And so do I. So with 3 degrees, why would I cut you off at 100? That's just boring.
I kind of like fucking what Rotator does, the CRPG instead. Just fucking take the excess and make it, like, fucking add that to the critical.
Yeah, but their rolls aren't quite... Because I can't put the excess onto any criticals for this.
Yeah.
Which is a good way for the computer game to add on, so it's not just wasted. But with 3 degrees of success, it is going to take you... Trying to remember now, because I haven't actually got the rules open here. I believe it's 8 hours to create something. Degrees of success, drop it. The complexity of the item increases the duration. This is a weapon mod. It's average. 3 degrees of success. I believe this is going to take you 3 hours to construct. I think that's right. So you have the weapon mod, the weapon mount. So you can easily, I mean, this doesn't actually take you any rolls as far as I'm aware. Actually, does it? I don't think it does. You can easily mount a weapon of your choosing to the weapon mount and then attach it to the Archeotech servitor. No, I'm good. Do you know what? I'm going to want one more roll just to basically see if you get a natural 100. It's another tech use. This is just for you to attach the wireage of everything to the Archeotech servitor. If it was a normal combat servitor, I wouldn't get you to do this, but it's Archeotech, so I'd at least want a roll. So,
what's
tech use. Tech use, just roll it flat. I'm literally looking for a natural 100 here. You didn't get a natural 100, so you have successfully attached the weapon mount to the servitor, and the servitor can access it and move it around and aim it. So now you just need to attach a weapon of your choosing. And technically,
I want to attach start these bolters.
By all means, you can add the Starties bolter to your servitor's ranged weapons. If you want to add something like a red laser sight, no.
Red dot laser sight.
That's the one. Then it will get a +10 when it uses that weapon for single shots. So you can add more to the weapon later on.
I suppose we don't. I'm out of time for the laser dot.
We probably have for this episode, to be fair. And also, I'm not entirely sure you have... Well, I suppose you could use a las gun to make a laser pointer, couldn't you?
We also have like a stockpile of components.
Yeah, we do. Like you said, we do have a stockpile of actual components as well we could use.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, because again, as the description of the components, I was like, but would that have you've got a load of las guns and scrap. So probably at least a
The
couple of
las
scrap
guns would
las
probably be
guns,
better.
which would give
Also
you
be
the actual, you know, the crystals that are focused to create a laser. So you would have the components from that. That's all I was like thinking about, but you have those. So I tell you what, I don't know the rarity. I think they're very rare, or they're rare on the. So if you give me a roll of, so it goes average, rare, very rare, unique. So if you give me a roll of -10, but last time I gave you a +10 for the workshop and your assistant. So if you give me a flat roll, Cray, you have got enough time to do it. So you get 3 degrees of success, same as last time, funnily enough. Never mind. Sorry, my brain went somewhere else then. So it's going to take you long into the night, Cray, because it is very rare. It goes up another bracket. It's going to take you long into the night, part of tomorrow morning, for you to make it. But you can make in the next episode in the morning. You will have you'll have the mod to add to the gun. And I'm not going to ask for a roll for you to attach it to the gun. It's a fucking laser sight. It's a laser pointer. That's fine. Is there anything Cooney and Heinrich would have done for the rest of the day in Izmir? Is there anything you guys wanted to do with this day or the rest of this day? Or are you just going to go around and do general busybody management stuff?
I mean, to be honest, most of the time it would be spent with Trey, unless Trey didn't want me to observe what he's
Or
doing.
you can observe.
Yeah, then I'll mostly be spending my time with.
You can observe. That's not going to cause any problems. You cannot assist as long as the other tech priest is around, until Cray has a moment to talk to the other tech priest and be like, no, let the Xenos poke around with our sacred technology. For him to do it is one thing. For the other tech priest, Cray will need to convince them. It can be done. I'm not saying it can't, but they will need to be convinced.
No, it's fine. Even if I'm not allowed to assist, just observing is enough to be learning and using that as a way to learn. So that's fine by me.
Okay.
Because that's what I would mostly be doing.
Perfectly fine then. So you can be there and assist. I will just point out there are going to be times when you will notice the other tech priest stops you from seeing certain things. Like, Cray can technically stop it if he notices, but there would be things that, again, tech priest very dogmatic, are like, no one should see this, not even a guardsman. Fuck off, Xenos. And she would break line of contact. I'm only for the. That's what a tech priest would do. It's just.
Again, I'm an envoy of the greater good. I don't mind that kind of shit.
So yeah, you will notice this, Cooney, that there are just times when she's like, raise the cog, and it gets in your way. You would notice it, but and Cray doesn't do that with you, just to also, because again, it helps you know that okay, Cray is actually a lot more tolerant than the rest of his people. You know.
That's the thing again. I'm used to that. Envoy of the greater good and all of the other things that I took. It's fine. Whenever she does that, I'll just accept it. I'll back off. I won't argue with her or anything.
Right, yep, not a problem then. So you're basically spending like 6 hours in the workshop or so with Cray and Gamma Delta, which is actually her name, not Alpha Gamma Delta. But and Heinrich, you're going around and checking in with everyone. The milkmaid and the baker do very much appreciate being checked in on. You bring some more food and drinks to the sisters, the Shield sisters and the Sister of Battle, check in with her again. There's no real big reports that need to come to you, Heinrich, but you do the typical rogue trade of, maybe move it to the left a bit or move it to the right, or, do as you do. But that is where that day will come to another end, with another party and celebration, of course. How dare you? How dare you single out them? That's very sexist. And yes, there's as always in Izmir, they party like there's no tomorrow. Some of them there isn't. I will do a couple of rolls. No, I won't. We'll just have the Izmirians survive this one. Why not? So yeah, that is where we will end this episode. At the end of a day. See, look, days can move quite quickly sometimes. It'll be like 7 episodes long. And yeah, I certainly hope you've enjoyed this episode where we went off tangent quite a few times and didn't get all that much done. But what we got done was class. So hopefully you'll come around.
I mean, I dare say we did get a lot done.
Yeah.
If you guess more than in the last 3 episodes.
More than a combat episode where it's one turn an episode. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode a little bit more than the mass combat episodes, and hopefully you'll look forward to the next episodes to come, where the group will be doing some planning and creating, and stuff will happen in the next episodes. So hopefully we will see you there. Thank you all so much for watching.
XP.
Take care, everyone, and as always, bye-bye for now.
I don't think Getty's gonna say his bye, so I'm just gonna say see ya.
Devastating.